morning. Good morning. Yeah, I think as my predecessor has said, there's a lot of tension because personally I have heard that every day I take some pesticide. Sometimes I feel that I'm hitting myself because I am promoting agroecology, I'm promoting organic agriculture, and I'm still going to the market to buy tomatoes. I'm going to the market to buy supermarket, so we need to do something about it. Now I'm going to present something not in figures, so I'm going to do storytelling. So I don't think it is going to be very, very boring. So my work is to present the nexus between, or the connection between agroecology and integrated management. And as the other presenters have said, we need to do something about the whole issue. And I will start by saying the issue of agroecology comes in from the word ecology, which refers to relationships. So when we talk about relationships between plants, animals, and the whole ecosystem, and the balance between their relationships. So when we are talking about agroecology, we want to apply agroecological concepts and principles in the farming systems. And therefore, in agroecology, we are saying that we want to integrate a sustainable approach to agriculture and address farm areas as ecosystems. And in a system, we have got different organs all working together to form that system. So when we are talking about an ecosystem, we have got different farming, different sections of the farm all working together to form a whole system. And the sustainable and regenerative agricultural systems are needed to tally the economic and environmental costs of high external inputs and create diversity in the growing world. We have heard from the other presenters that these HHPs are not doing as good. One of the issues that we have heard is about the cost. For sure, they are very, very expensive. And therefore, in agroecology, we are talking about systems that will help the farmers to reduce the cost of production and also create diversity in their farms. So we are trying to look at the farm as a system and trying to see how each organ in the system will help each other. Now, that is about agroecology. So there is what now we call integrated pest management. Pest management is looking at the pests and trying to manage them. I'm not using the word control. I'm saying that we want to manage pests. So when we talk about ecological pest management, we are talking about systems that are eco-based. And these are supposed to manage pests and be focused on low external input. And the management, we are talking about lowering the levels of pests. We are not talking about total eradication of pests. We are saying that you manage them to levels that will cause no economic injury to your crops. And here we talk about integrating different methods of management, be it cultural methods. There are agronomic practices that farmers do in their farms, which are not necessarily meant for managing pests, but they end up helping them a lot. Then biological control methods, we have heard about biopesticides, we have got other methods that are very rich in, our nature is very rich in a lot of organisms that control each other. Then we have habitat manipulation through use of organisms also, and other cultural and mechanical practices that are used in nature. And the other one is the use of resistant varieties, resistant and tolerant varieties. So we are saying that in IPM, we are not using a single method to control pests. We are using different methods to manage the pest population. And I would say that I read the Bible a lot. And if you read, for those who read the Bible, in Genesis 1 verse that 1, it says that everything that God created was what? Was good. He created everything with its purpose. So when we do total eradication, because what I have heard, even when the others were presenting, we are talking about the pest, but we are not talking about the environment where that pest lives. If we can be able to manipulate that environment, the pest will not come. If we are able to use resistant varieties, the pest will not have food to eat. So it will either migrate or it is going to perish. So we are not saying that we use a single method to manage the pest. This agroecological integrated pest management, this system is all about also building of a synergistic relationship between plants, animals, and animals that allows optimal recycling of nutrients. What we say in integrated pest management, we are talking about systems that will help. We'll start from the soil. We start from the basics. When we are talking about pest control, we are talking about systems that will only strike the pest. So in this system, we are creating synergies. We are creating systems that interact with each other, both the plants and the animals, through nutrient cycling and also use of organic matter. So IPM goes beyond input substitution and creates a sustainable agroecosystem with little need for external resource inputs. So we are saying that we go beyond, we don't look at the pest and the pesticides. We ask ourselves the question, why? Then we ask ourselves, how did this come in? And then, how can we manage it? How can we manage it? What we always tell the farmers that we work with is that whenever you get a problem, the first question you should ask yourself is, why is this problem coming to my farm? What have I done? Or what have I not done that is encouraging this pest to come to my farm? So probably if you solve the problem, the pest will not come. But what are we saying here? We are saying that, okay, if we have this problem, we have given alternatives. We have given alternatives. So instead of using this pesticide, you can use this other safer pesticide. But the farmer should ask himself, why is this aphid coming to my farm? Maybe there is water stress. So if the farmer provides water, the pest will not come to his farm. So we are saying that we go beyond the substitution, because even here we are looking at how we substitute the HHPs with other more safer pesticides. But as my predecessor said, farmers lack information on all the system that is working in their farm. So we need to feed the farmers with more information about what the problems that they are having. If you have a stomach, if you have a headache, you should ask yourself, why do I have a headache? Maybe it's the stomach that has a problem. So if you take Panadol, have you solved the problem? So you need to solve the problem, which is the stomach. So that is what we talk about. We have got the element of diversity. In integrated pest management, we are saying that you have to integrate different enterprises so that your farm becomes holistic. So we are saying that we are using a holistic way of pest management. Then efficiency is key. in terms of making sure that all the systems are working. All the systems are working. So what we are saying is that if you have a system that is not working, just as I have said, if you don't have water, you have water stress. Even if you use whichever chemical, you still get problems in your farm. Then the other one is resilience, which is also very, very important. And I've said that one of the ways that we say is that you use the materials, planting materials that are tolerant or resistant to pests and diseases, and also materials that are suitable for different habitats. I would say that all these are important when it comes to integrated pest management. Remember, I've said that we are not using one dose to solve a problem. So these elements are particularly important between farmers and scientists who work together to optimize the use of botanical pesticides and manipulated and natural pest regulation to increase the abundance of predators, parasites, and all that. What am I saying here? Is that in integrated pest management, we are saying that there has to be synergy between the farmers, between the scientists, the policymakers, everyone, in building a system, an ecosystem base that is going to reduce the use of pesticides. So what I'm saying here is that we should all of us work together. The scientists should all should work together with the farmers. Farmers should not get recipes that have been made in the labs. They should understand how the process was done, so that they appreciate that this is what is lacking, and this is where they can also contribute. Then farmers have a lot of knowledge. They have a lot of knowledge which is not tapped. So we need to tap this knowledge, back it up with the scientific understanding, and then give farmers some recipe that is going to help them. Then we are saying, as I have said, if I can go back, out of all these, the three on the left are very, very important. The issue of diversity, efficiency, and resilience, and they underpin the development of insect pathogens repos where their damage to crops surpasses the threshold economic injury. And what we are saying is that in IPM, we are not talking about total eradication. We are talking about keeping them below levels that will force you to use what? Cash. So if you find that there are three caterpillars, you don't tell the farmer to go to the shop to buy a whole can of pesticide. There are alternatives that you can use to do what? And which is the best alternative? If I can be answered by someone. Dr. Arnold. No, you're the only one I know here. The easiest one, which is very crude, is to crush that caterpillar and forget about it, isn't it? But what we have been telling farmers is that if you find one caterpillar, believe me, there are about 100 caterpillars that you can't see. So what is the alternative? Is to go to the shop and buy a pesticide. So we are saying that we need to create systems that help each other through diversity, through resilience and efficiency. For diversity in crop protection is important within the cropping areas, and through intercropping, there are some plants that will eliminate some pests. For instance, we have been using very, very simple methods like the onion. They will eliminate some aphids, and we need to encourage that issue of intercropping. The issue of monocropping has done a lot of bad things to us, especially in the pest management. We have mixed cropping, which reduce the abundance of insects and diseases that spread by creating barriers of different plants that particularly of particular pests and pathogens that are not able to to exploit. What I'm saying here is that we also encourage farmers to create barriers. These are simple methods that we are using that help a lot in pest management. And what I want to bring home is that we don't only need to depend on pesticides. There are other methods that farmer can use, and we don't only need to use a single method to control pests. Let us manage them rather than controlling them. And diversity helps to enable elements of efficiency and resilience. When we have a lot of crops, when we have several crops, in case one crop fails, the farmer is not left without anything. There is also efficiency in terms of land utilization. And also, we also encourage the use of, as I said before, the use of plants that are more resistant, the plants that are more tolerant to different conditions. So resistance to pests and diseases is often a factor of the issue of things like soil fertility, access to nutrients and water, where vigorous aerobic plants are able to employ their natural defenses against attack or increased compensatory growth mechanisms post-harvest attack. So what I'm saying here is that the issue of resistance, when you have a healthy soil, you have a healthy crop because the crop will get enough nutrients. And also, what we are saying is that the crop will also develop their natural defense mechanisms. So if we try to do good soils, let us have good systems in the farm. We are the plants will have their own mechanisms of defending themselves. Then also in integrated pest management, we are talking about, we have been talking about synthetic pesticides here, but we are encouraging more use of what we are calling botanical extracts, and this can facilitate natural plant defenses through stimulation of endogenous defenses as well as acting as foliar fertilizers that strengthen plant resistance. Many people will agree with me that most of the botanical pesticides that we farmers make, they act both as pesticides, but they also have some nutrient importance. So when we encourage farmers to use these botanical pesticides, they help to build natural defense mechanisms, and also they help to encourage the plants to grow through nutrient provision. So the agroecological element of resilience is also relevant to farmers and communities when people can use locally available renewable resources for pest and disease management. This is a key factor because if you are talking about involving the farmers have their own mechanisms and of pest management. They have used them for a long time. What we have been doing is farmers even have plants that have pesticidal properties. But we as scientists, have we taken keen interest to understand what really works in those plants that kills the active ingredients in those plants? Because there has to be very, very important active ingredients in those plants that kills the pest. So what we have been trying to do is to, in a very small way, to understand the dynamics around pesticidal plants or pests with the pesticidal properties, and understand what is in them that is killing the pest. And I think there was a project that was funded by the European Union through ICRA, National Museums of Kenya, plus our small organizations, that we were looking at those plants and trying to look at the active ingredients. I think the funding ended before we did much. But I think it is something that should be taken up so that we understand that we have the Frosia for jelly, for instance. The Frontier is a very good insecticide. But what is in the atmosphere that kills the aphid, so that now we can tell the farmer with confidence that you can use the Frontier, and this is what? This is how you formulate at the local level. So that is very, very important. Then the use of pesticide plants and natural pest regulation helps to reduce the need for other external sources. This is what I'm saying. So if farmers are able to regulate their systems in the farms, of course there will be people who will be out of business. But our system, the phrase that I made is that what? If you can remember. Well, health, yes? Well, health and wealth. Because without health, even if you have a lot of wealth, are you going to enjoy that wealth? You will not. So it is better that you have good food, you have enough good food that is going to give you a healthy system, rather than having a lot of money and you end up in bed, because you're not going to celebrate that money. You're not going to celebrate that wealth. So it is important that farmers use the locally available resources that they have, so that they produce healthy foods. And for example, not only can they use botanical pesticides, as I think that there was a repetition there, and so that farmers can be able to also start on their own. And that is why I'm saying, even as we discuss this issue of pesticides, it is very, very important. But let us include the common farmer there. So our organization and many others, we are working with farmers to make sure that we promote the 4 principles of organic agriculture by the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movement. That is the principle of health, the principle of ecology, the principle of fairness, and the principle of care. So the moment you fulfill those principles, you will always care about yourself and the others. You look at the system as an ecosystem management way, and you therefore everything you do, you will be conscious of what you are doing. But now what we are saying is that we have got this pest, we have this remedy. But why is this pest coming? So that is what I'm saying. So I think that is the end of my presentation. But in this agroecology business, being promoted by many organizations. So we need to harmonize the information that we are giving to the farmers, so that the package that we are taking is the same. What I'm saying, I'm talking as effective IPM association, is what the other person is talking. The other thing is that, and I think one of the presenters talked about it, is lack of information on pesticides and the pesticide use and their safety information by farmers. A lot of farmers are very ignorant about the dangers of pesticides, about how to use them, and the alternatives also. The other one, and I've just talked about it, is we lack the scientific backup on some of the practices that we are promoting. Okay, I'll tell the farmers that this pesticide, this botanical pesticide works. He will ask me. Farmers have become very knowledgeable. He will ask me what works in it. So I will tell him, do you need to know what works in it, or yours is to see that the caterpillar dies? So that is what we are doing. So I will tell him, yes, go and do it, practically. That is what Sylvia does. And the farmer now asks, what works? The other side is telling us that the active ingredient of ABCD is ABCD. But do we have that? So we lack that scientific information. And I think we need all of us to work towards that. Even as we promote this other, the reduction of these other HHPs, we also need to look at the scientific side of botanical pesticides. The other one is availability of biopesticides. I will not say that some of the biopesticides are very expensive. I want to say that availability is quite the issue, because some of them are regenerated. Some of the ones that are used regenerate naturally by themselves. So you can buy them expensively, but it takes so long before you use them again. But their availability is the question. And then the same companies that are manufacturing the synthetic pesticides are the same ones that are manufacturing the biopesticides. So there is a lot of confusion and a lot of skepticism, because on one hand side we are saying that we don't use these pesticides from this company, and on the other side we are saying we use these biopesticides. So it gives farmers some confusion. So I want to end it at that, and thank you very much for listening to me.